Hi, everybody. My name is Jeremy Railton. I'll be teaching Business 115, Business Law 1 this semester here at Gaston College. The purpose of this video is just to give you a brief walkthrough to see how everything works. So the first item you'll see in the course is the syllabus. You click on that, it'll bring it up. I won't read the whole thing to you. We'll just hit a couple highlights here. You can see my contact information here, how to get a hold of me. Student hours, really just kind of code for office hours if you're used to that terminology. Email is probably the best way to get a hold of me. There's a picture of the textbook we'll be using. It's Business Law by Pearson. Author is Cheeseman, 11th edition. You can buy an access card through the bookstore. You can buy access directly from Pearson by hitting this link. Let's make sure it still works. Just thinking about it. Here we go. Yeah. So for some people, if you want to just buy access to the textbook at just like a monthly basis, you can do $9.99 a month for 6 months, or like $60 roughly to access the ebook if you want to do it rather than buying it from the bookstore. Might be a little bit cheaper that way. Whichever way you access a book, just having access to a book in some form. You can even buy a used book online if you can find one. I don't know how easy that's going to be to find. We're not going to be doing any homework on Pearson's website. Everything will be in Blackboard, so you just need access to a book in some form. Like I said, a few highlights here. The rule of the school is that if you don't participate for 21 consecutive days, you'll be withdrawn. That just means participation for our purposes means handing in work for an online course. You have to hand in something. So if you go 3 weeks without handing something in, you'll be withdrawn. So if you find yourself falling behind, reach out to me. Let me know what's going on. Hopefully we can work together to prevent that from happening. The grading percentages we'll be using, 35% will be chapter assignments. These will be like case studies, some written work, maybe a discussion board here and there. 35% will be chapter quizzes. 10% will be a midterm exam, and the remaining 20% will be the final exam. We operate on a standard 10-point scale, so 90 to 100 is an A, and so on. I do accept late work. The catch is that it's 10 points off per day, up to 6 days late. So once it gets beyond the 6-day period past the due date, then the assignment will be closed and won't be reopened. So if you're going to do late work, just jump in there and do it very quickly before the assignment closes. The two exceptions to this policy are the final chapter's work and the final exam. Both of those due dates are firm just because I have to get final grades turned in on time, so I can't wait an additional week to hand that stuff in. Last item in the syllabus that we'll hit is, I know that we're in an increasingly AI world, but we're going to do this course without it. We're going to try to do our best to learn as much as we can without surrendering our brains to the machine to do the work for us. What that means is I'll give you plenty of resources. You have the book, you have lesson notes. I do lecture videos so you can hear me talk you through the material. I'll have sources linked within the notes. You can learn more. I'll have sources linked within assignment instructions to go and learn more. So don't stress too much about having word perfect papers and everything, spelling and grammar absolutely perfect and all that stuff. I'd rather hear your work in your voice. So I can tell that you're learning something. I enjoy that way more than just reading something that a machine spit out, because they all look the same. If I suspect something has been AI generated, I'll just give it a 0 and then prompt you to contact me if you think I made a mistake. If you think I made a mistake, if you actually did the paper and I got it wrong, then we'll just set up a quick meeting. You'll talk me through your process, what happened, and I think it'll be pretty easy for you to prove your case to me, and then we can work from there. That's it for the syllabus. Let's jump back into the course. The next item is the course schedule. So here you can see all the due dates for the semester. Just keep in mind that I have several sections of this course. Some start at different dates than others, so don't trust the video to get your due dates. Look at your course schedule in your specific course to make sure you have the right dates. Trying to work on a Tuesday schedule here. Try to make as many due dates as I can land on Tuesdays. There will be a couple of exceptions here and there. I try to mark those in bold with an asterisk, just saying, hey, heads up, this is different than a Tuesday. That usually just has something to do with a break that's going on. This is redundant, but you can see, faculty info here. It's the same thing as it's in the syllabus, but in case you don't want to open up the syllabus again. In the Start Here area, you can find a few things. There should be a link to this video in the Welcome area. You can learn more about the textbook here in the textbook info part. I give you a link to where you can find that on Pearson. It's in the syllabus as well. I think the price changed from the last time I updated that information. Looks like it used to be, they used to let you do 4 months. Now you have to do 6 months. So the price changed a little bit, but the same idea is still there. If you have issues getting access to the book, so when you buy the card from the bookstore, it's a little bit of a process to get initial access. Once you've done it the first time, then it's incredibly easy and it's just super smooth to just jump in and out of the textbook. The first time can be a little bit of a process, so I try to give you some step-by-step instructions to help out with that. The grading criteria is redundant also in the syllabus. Helpful videos is an area that will actually be helpful to you if this is your first time working in Blackboard. So we might have some first-time college students here who've never done work in Blackboard before. And you can find tons of videos about how to do basic stuff like take a quiz, hand in an assignment, stuff like that. So take advantage of that if you have questions about that. The other very important item in here is a course entry quiz. You don't need to do anything to do this. It'll only take a minute or two. It's incredibly important, though, because it registers your official entry into the class, saying, I am here, I'm going to do the work, please don't drop me for non-participation. So just go ahead and do that right away without any hesitation, and then you're going to be good to go to stay in the course for at least 3 more weeks without being dropped. So I just don't want somebody to get dropped and then have to, it took you a lot to get admitted to the college, to sign up for the course. You've made it this far. I don't want you to stumble over some very dumb obstacle like that. You've done all this. You've got access to the course. You've read the syllabus, course schedule, blah, blah, blah. Now you're ready to start on the actual course content. You just click on the chapter. Once you get used to the structure here, all the chapters will start to look the same. So you can see learning objectives. There should be a lecture video posted along with my PowerPoint notes for each chapter. Some people learn better just hearing somebody talk them through it rather than reading it. So that's there for you. In the study materials area, you can find stuff like, just click on it a different way. Stuff like flashcards, key terms, a couple links to some real world sources that deal with that chapter's content. Then you're ready to do the actual assignments. So the first one listed here is a quiz. Okay, it's open book. I give you an hour. I think the quizzes are like 15 questions long or something like that. So you have plenty of time. Part of the idea is that you've reviewed. A lot of the questions will be automatic. You already know them because you've done the reading. And then you have a little bit of time to look up the answers you don't know right away. And then there will be an additional assignment. So sometimes that takes the form of a case study in the form of a quiz. Sometimes it's a written assignment where you need to actually write a paper and hand it in. Most of the papers we do in the course will just be 1 or 2 pages, nothing huge. So you would just click on it. The first assignment's called Ruler for a Day, where you imagine, why is this showing up strangely? Okay, there you go. You have to click the view instructions. So this gives you the whole writing prompt. So when you're ready to submit, I recommend type it up in Word. When you're ready to submit, you can drag and drop right here and submit, or you can copy paste from Word in here. I recommend just dragging and dropping, keeping all your files for your own records in case something goes weird. You always have a copy for your own records. And then you'll just submit when you're done. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. Once you click into chapter 2, you'll notice that the structure is pretty much exactly the same, but the content is obviously going to be different. I think that's enough to get you started. I'm trying to keep this video under 10 minutes. If you have questions, I'm here as a resource for you. I am a real person. I do have an actual office on the Dallas campus. I'm available through email, phone, whatever. If you have questions about course structure or how to access the textbook or how to do a particular assignment, let me know and I'll be happy to work with you. And I take a lot of joy in that. So with that, best of luck. Hopefully to see you in the virtual classroom, and hope you all have a great time.